Welcome to today's market report. European stock markets are seen opening lower on Monday in cautious trading ahead of a week which sees a start of the US earnings season as well as a deluge of important economic data. DAX futures traded 0.4% lower, CAC 40 dropped 1.2%, FTSE 100 contract in the UK fell 0.5%. The DAX and the STOXX 600 have both hit all-time highs in recent weeks as the global economic recovery from COVID-19 continues to pick up the pace. The CAC 40, meanwhile, is at a 20-year high. The US economy, the world's largest, is at an inflection point. US Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said in an interview on Sunday, with stronger growth and hiring ahead, thanks to the vaccine rollout and powerful policy support. However, a resurgence of the virus is still a serious risk, Powell added. US coronavirus cases bottomed nearly a month ago and have edged up steadily since then. Overnight, India reported a record number of COVID-19 infections, overtaking Brazil to become the second most affected country globally by the coronavirus. Back in Europe, beer gardens, restaurants with outdoor eating and the likes of hair salons are set to reopen across England on Monday for the first time in almost 4 months. By contrast, the Dutch government said a nighttime curfew and other restrictions would remain for at least another fortnight as daily infections rose to a 2-week high. Wall Street kicks off its first quarter earnings season this week, with the banking giants Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan and Wells Fargo scheduled to report on Wednesday. Investors will be looking to see if the companies can justify their sky-high valuations. Data from Refinitiv points to S&P 500 firms recording a 25% jump in profit from a year earlier, which would be the strongest performance for the quarter since 2018. Economic data will also be closely watched this week, with US March inflation and retail sales both seeing surging. There will also be a slew of Chinese data released throughout the week, culminating in the closely watched first quarter GDP number on Friday, while in Europe, the German ZEW economic sentiment indicator is the highlight. Oil prices drifted low on Friday, with talks between Iran and world powers on resuscitating a 250 nuclear accord set to continue this week. These discussions could result in the member of the Organization of Petroleum exporting countries, cartel, being allowed once more to supply crude to the global market. The US crude futures traded 0.5% lower at $59.03 per barrel. Brent contract fell 0.5% to $62.63 per barrel. Both contracts are down over 9% over the last month. Gold futures fell 0.3% to $1,739.05 per ounce. On the FX front, the GBP-USD pair is recovering sharply from the intraday lows near the 113.70 region and climbing back to the daily tops, almost a 75-pip move in the mid-European session. The sudden pickup in the pair has come after the UK economy opened partially today. This includes the outdoor area in pubs and restaurants, hairdressers, gyms, and non-essential retailers, which opened for the first time in several months. Investors turned their attention to the sustainability of the economic growth as the nation entered the next phase of its coronavirus roadmap. The enthusiasm uplifts the cable and boosted the pair's performance. However, UK Prime Minister advised people to behave responsibly in a reminder that the fears of the pandemic still lingers on. Moving on, black clouds of political uncertainty amid renewed calls for a second referendum on Scottish independence and Brexit structural drag continued to haunt sterling. In short run, the dynamics around the US dollar and risk uncertainty is going to continue influence the cable pair. Euro-dollar flirts with the key 200-day SMA in the 118.80 to 118.90 band and looks to reverse Friday's retracement, refocusing instead on recent tops beyond 119 the figure. The renewed bid bias in the dollar has been supported further by an upbeat assessment of the US economy by Chief Powell at an interview released over the weekend. In the meantime, the vaccine rollout in the old continent keeps gathering traction, pari passu with lockdown measures in many countries, keeping hopes of a strong recovery in the region later in the year on the rise. The US dollar index was trading at 92.248 after falling below 92. This is today's market news. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.